So this is the Lewis Center site here where we're putting in a riparian restoration project. You can see all the containerized plants here, everything from grasses to some shrubbery to some willows and some cottonwoods, and you can see the reason for it behind there is the actual cottonwood, that forest that got burnt. So, and we got one of the students coming along here. Check this out. So they're busy installing them. Bringing plants. Cowboy Jackie. Cowgirl, I should say at least. Yeah. At least should give you the benefit of that. Wow. So how's it going?
Well, good. They just had a lunch break. Ken had to go to Home Depot and get a part for the water truck, the water tank, because it's leaking really bad.
Oh, okay.
But we've had lots of great help, and we're just about at where we expected, if not. We'll just start planting.
So here's the crew, Lewis students happily planting here and putting up the herbivory protectors from the little critters. And we got another whole herd of them over there. Got some mesquites going in right over there. And grasses here. Buckwheat right here. And desert broom right there. Good way for these guys to get engaged.
That little zeolite hole, it'll actually, a little wetted perimeter, a little wetted area, maybe a foot to 18 inches across, where you can actually plant things into that. And so you're basically sub-irrigating those plants by water that it's wicking up from the groundwater and bringing to the surface passively.
Was that your invention, that tube that had something in it to pull up water?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't my invention. No, this is somebody else, but I've used it a lot. I've probably used it as much as anybody else, but I didn't actually invent it. It was worked on initially by some people down in New Mexico State University. It's been used in New Mexico, we've used it there, we've used it in Arizona, now we've got some going out here and at Lewis Center.
So this is Ken Laird talking about the experiment.
We're going to plant those and put plants right next to that column of zeolite. Just plant right next to it so that they're within that little wetted circle when the water gets wicked up to the surface. And so basically you've got just permanent sub-irrigation. It's going to be perpetually irrigated from that point on once the water wicks up.
Looking over towards the trial there.
You normally have to fill those holes about a month to a month and a half ahead of time to give it enough time for water to come up to the surface and wet it all the way up.
So Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about this school, the Apple Valley University?
Yeah, Apple University is a computer-based program that's teamed with hands-on projects such as this, where we take what we've studied on the computer, the curriculum, and then put it into real-life practice to help get it into our long-term memory, but also see how it applies to the real world. How often are they going to come down and water these?
Is that how, like, the zero system comes in?
Yeah.
That was good. So anyway, you guys have any comments about what you learned?
Very exciting.
Very exciting?
Very exciting.
Is it cool to get your hands dirty and work with natural things? Yeah?
Very cool.
Feel like you did some good?
Computer?
No, I don't know, about even
a lot more exciting than sitting on the computer
for
3 or 4 hours a day.
You get tired of this on the computer.
So we got Pete here from RCD. So what do you think about this, Pete?
It looks like a great choice to make, to come down here and set these plants out as a demonstration project. And we want to carry this forward for a couple of years and see what can establish itself without a lot of benefit from, or without a lot of help from us versus Mother Nature.
So can you tell us a little good opportunity to talk about RCD? What does RCD do in the realm of agencies and government intervention or government help?
We're basically an enabler for a lot of them to come together in a good form whereby we can make use of the talents of each one separately or combined and work it out so that we end up with a great project in the end, and hopefully for a very reasonable to nominal cost.
Cool. your environmental science class?
So this is my environmental horticulture class. We're helping out with this restoration project. Is to plant the natives that should be here after the removal of tamarisk, the salt cedar that is known to take up 200 gallons of water per day and outcompetes what should be here, such as the willows and cottonwood. So these students are getting hands-on experience, and what they have done is they've prepared the holes with the auger, and what they have to do then is, even after the auger has made the hole, they have to remove the dirt that has fallen in to make sure that's at the proper depth. And then there's two different methods that they're using. A tea bag method and a slurry method. Both of those have a polymer and have been inoculated with a mycorrhizae, and basically that polymer is able to retain 10% of its own body weight with the water, and so this way we don't have to come out and irrigate, and that polymer is going to hold the water, making it available for those plants to use at all available times.
Right, because part of the study is to make sure that these plots and these inoculations, these seed beds can survive on their own without irrigation.
Without the irrigation, right? Because you know, you don't want to have to spend the time and the money that is involved